over 60% of corruption cases investigated by ICPC at this level involve diversion of public resources meant for crucial and critical projects such as healthcare and infrastructure.
The Commission's proactive engagement with stakeholders through forums such as this reflect a commendable commitment to collaborative governance.
Hello viewers, and welcome to this week's edition of Transparency Files. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiayi. Local government administration plays a critical role in delivering essential public services and driving grassroots development in Nigeria. As the tier of government closest to the people, its efficiency directly affects citizens' daily lives. For decades, however, local governments have struggled with systemic issues such as financial mismanagement, lack of transparency, and governance inefficiencies, all of which have hindered their ability to fulfill constitutional mandates. But on July 11, 2024, a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court rekindled hope by granting financial autonomy to local governments. While this is a monumental step, autonomy alone is not enough. There must be a solid framework to ensure these funds are used transparently and for the intended purposes. ICPC has developed the Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program for local governments aimed at strengthening and repositioning them for improved service delivery. Recently, a one-day advocacy workshop was held for key stakeholders, and that is our focus today. We'll also be checking in with Ruth Awadi for anti-corruption stories and other exciting segments. Stay with us.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. ICPC has arraigned Mrs. Christiana Goka, a former deputy director in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on allegations of misappropriating public funds amounting to 5.3 million naira. Mrs. Goka, who also served as the head of the Department of Research Monitoring Information System at the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DTCA, was brought before Justice J.A. Aino of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Kwali, Abuja, on a 5-count charge bordering on misappropriation of funds and providing false statements. According to the charges, Mrs. Goka allegedly misappropriated 5.1 million naira from funds earmarked for a botched management retreat of the ministry at Dutse, Jigawa State in 2017, which is contrary to Section 25, subsection 1A, and punishable under Section 25, subsection 1B of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. Additionally, Mrs. Goka is accused of providing false information to an ICPC investigator denying the receipt of 1 million naira in cash, which was reportedly returned to her on the instruction of the then Director General of DTCA, the late Ambassador Abdul Jalil Suleiman. At the commencement of the trial, Prosecution Counsel David Nwanze called 2 witnesses who testified and were cross-examined. The court, having previously granted the defendant bail under the same conditions as her administrative bail, allowed her to remain on those terms after she pleaded not guilty to all charges when they were read to her. As part of the bail conditions, the defendant must provide a surety who is employed in the Federal Republic of Nigeria at grade level 15 or above and resides in Abuja. The surety is required to submit a letter of appointment, proof of last promotion, an identity card, and a passport photograph. Justice J.A. Aino subsequently adjourned the case for the continuation of trial. In another development, the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to promoting integrity, transparency, and accountability in Nigeria's procurement system. Dr. Liu, speaking during the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between ICPC and the Bureau of Public Procurement BPP, held at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, emphasized that these efforts are crucial in preventing corrupt practices and ensuring the prosecution of offenders.
This agreement represents more than a mere formality. It's a decisive step towards strengthening integrity, transparency, and accountability in Nigeria's public procurement system. As we know that public procurement is a cornerstone of good governance, it drives national development by ensuring the efficient delivery of essential public services and infrastructure. However, we acknowledge the persistent threats of corruption, which erodes public trusts, drains national resources, and impedes progress. Addressing this challenge requires unwavering vigilance and strategic collaboration. The ICPC as an anti-corruption agency and the BPP as the guardian of the procurement regulations are natural partners in this mission. Through this MOU, we are not only deepening our cooperation, but also institutionalizing mechanisms for intelligence sharing, joint investigation, and proactive prevention of procurement fraud and irregularities.
Commending BPP for its role in the initiative, Dr. Liu expressed confidence in the leadership of the Director General, Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, in upholding good governance and advancing the collective goal of building a stronger corruption-free Nigeria. In his remarks, Dr. Adedokun, who described the signing of the MOU as a historic milestone, expressed confidence in the capacity of both agencies to deliver value to Nigerians, noting that the partnership will leave a lasting legacy of efforts made to improve the lives of citizens.
It's something to be commended that the leadership of ICPC and BPP are forward-looking, are interested in delivering value to the Nigerian people. It's also an evidence that we know we are called to this service as a privilege, not a right. We also see what is happening today, that one day we will leave a legacy behind, whether for good or for bad. It's also a significant occasion that will remind our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, what did we do to ensure that Nigerians can live safely, Nigerians can have good source of livelihood, Nigerians can have good water supply, hygiene condition, Nigerians can have good healthcare system, Nigerians can drive in the night without fear of being kidnapped, Nigerians can go to any hospital and get first-grade medical treatment. Nigerians will no longer have to leave Nigeria to acquire any form of livelihood other than the best in Nigeria. So this signifies our commitment as the two agencies towards ensuring that every kobo spent by every government agencies are accounted for transparently, competitively, and fairly.
The MOU outlines several objectives, including the strategic monitoring and evaluation of public procurement processes, strengthening information and intelligence gathering, and ensuring that procurement activities are free from corruption and related offenses. Additionally, the partnership aims to create an enabling environment for local and international investors by fostering a transparent and accountable procurement system. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello? Adamu. Right now, I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we're in Abuja.
Keep quiet there. Who told you you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you're raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now. Corruption not in my country.
You're watching Transparency Files. At the stakeholders workshop, the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliu, SAN, revealed a staggering statistics. Over 60% of corruption cases investigated by the ICPC at the local government level involve the misappropriation of funds meant for vital projects like rural healthcare and road construction. He stressed that while local governments are pivotal in service delivery, many continue to underperform due to weak transparency structures. He urged state governments to fully support the implementation of the new reforms free from administrative bottlenecks. He also called on civil society organizations and the media to play a stronger role in advocacy and public accountability.
As we know that local governments play a vital role in delivering public services. However, many have struggled due to weak transparency mechanisms and the misappropriation of funds. This initiative is urgent. Over 60% of corruption cases investigated by ICPC at this level involve diversion of public resources meant for crucial and critical projects such as healthcare and infrastructure. The need for reform is underscored by a major legal milestone, which is the Supreme Court judgment of 11th July 2024, which affirmed financial autonomy for local governments. This decision ensures the direct disbursement of funds to local government councils, removing undue state interference and creating a crucial opportunity for local governance reform. As an anti-corruption agency, ICPC is committed to ensuring the success of this reform by enforcing compliance with anti-corruption laws and fostering a culture of transparency, accountability, and efficiency.
You're welcome back. Key remarks were delivered by prominent stakeholders, including the Attorney General of the Federation, Chairman of the Senate and House Committees on Anti-Corruption, a representative of Algon, and others who shared their thoughts on the importance of transparency at the grassroots level. Let's hear what they had to say.
The federal government remains resolute in commitment to promote transparency, accountability, and good governance at all levels, as encapsulated in the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. Therefore, I wish to commend the ICPC for its unwavering dedication to the cause of integrity, transparency, and good governance. The Commission's proactive engagement with stakeholders through forums such as this reflect a commendable commitment to collaborative governance.
The landmark Supreme Court judgment granting local government direct financial control is a significant victory for democracy, transparency, grassroots development. However, autonomy alone is not enough. We must ensure that the resources allocated to local government are prudently and transparently used, free from corrupt practices. As lawmakers, we are fully committed to enacting and strengthening legislation that promotes accountability, transparency, good governance at all levels. I would like to seize this opportunity to commend the ICPC for its foresight in developing the accountability and corruption prevention program for local governments.
Local government will soon no longer be able to complain of either paucity of funds or having their funds hijacked by their state government. The only major foreseeable obstacle to their becoming up of development is corruption. This is why it makes so much sense for ICPC to roll out its accountability and corruption prevention program for local government to enable that tier of government embrace a culture of accountability and prevention of corruption.
I want the ICPC and other agencies here to take special notice of the fact that we are collaborating with the governors and other stakeholders, the union and other stakeholders as it concerns local government. There are a lot of issues that need to be harmonized, synchronized, and streamlined. Changes is coming, but we have to make sure that everything is harmonized and there are no issues.
This is Transparency Files. Can you imagine a government worker earning multiple salaries from different agencies? Unbelievable, right? But it's true. Take a look at this shocking revelation.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has dragged an immigration officer, Assistant Superintendent Abubakar Mohammed Aseku, to court for allegedly pocketing salaries from not one, not two, but 3 different government agencies, cashing out in a jaw-dropping 17.6 million naira. Now, let's break it down. While working for immigration, he also allegedly received salaries as a teacher in Nasarawa back in 2015. But he didn't stop there. Between 2018 and 2019, he reportedly collected another 13.4 million naira from the Department of Petroleum Resources, all while still on immigration's payroll. Multitasking or money magic, you decide. And just when you think it's over, there is more. As a pay officer, he allegedly arranged payments of 4.7 million naira to 7 ghost workers, people who were not even on the payroll. Talk about money-making moves. Mr. Aseku pleaded not guilty, but ICPC is ready to roll out evidence. The judge upheld his bail, and the case is now set for April 29, 2025. Nigerians, the real question is, how deep does this salary web go, and will justice prevail?
Welcome back. Let's return to our main focus, the recently held Stakeholders Workshop on ICPC's Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program. The event sparked insightful discussions and interventions from participants with far-reaching recommendations aimed at ensuring the success of this bold initiative. Watch this.
Corruption prevention itself, as this has been designed, is anchored on 2 major principles. The first one is openness and disclosure. The second one is compliance.
The local government system is that government that directly impacts on our people. With my experience, the best way to fight corruption is to go to the grassroots. Because when you get it right, I think you've gotten it right at the other levels. Before this time, what was it like? I find people in my state, not going to government houses. People normally come to the local councils. Before I wake up, even before I became chairman, when I was vice chairman, people crowd around my house before I wake up. But it pains my heart that now, a local government chairman is so insignificant in Nigeria. You hardly find people around the 774 local government program, except few of them. Maybe Lagos, maybe some others, and some other areas. So what we are doing here is very personal and take it very seriously. So I want to associate not just myself, but my commission, our management, fiscal responsibility commission.
now we have an initiative of the ICPC coming to give some teeth, some effectiveness to the local government areas or councils in Nigeria. This must be commended, and all stakeholders must work jointly with the ICPC to deliver on this. Again, I tell people that talk is cheap. This is not an easy task. It's a lot of work involved. So the ICPC would need to build relationships, engage with stakeholders across board to bring this to fruition.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
Before we wrap up, let's join Damilola for updates from some of our ICPC state offices across the country.
Reports from Taraba State reveals that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Okoro J. Ulu, led the ICPC team to pay a courtesy visit to the Federal Medical Center, Jalingo. He stated that the purpose of the visit is to partner with the center to reduce corruption in the facility and the state at large to the barest minimum. The delegation was received by the Chief Medical Director, represented by the Director of Administration, Mr. Adamu Ardo, who expressed willingness to improve on the existing working relationship between the two agencies to rid the center of all forms of corruption by enthroning transparency and accountability. From Imo State comes a report that ICPC has launched Student Anti-Corruption Vanguard at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, to advance the fight against corruption. Mrs. Chinwe Ebiocha of the Public Enlightenment and Education Department, who delivered an engaging lecture on corruption, held that corruption has far-reaching consequences. Chairman of the university's Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, Professor Angela Udebwani, admonished the students to be shining examples to others, being watchdogs of the ICPC. Coming from Rivers State, ICPC has inaugurated Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, at the Niger Delta Basin Development Authority in Port Harcourt. The oath of membership was administered by Barrister Evans Peter, who stressed that taking the oath means pledging to work within the mandates of the Commission and to remain people of integrity at all times. The CEO of Niger Delta Basin Development Authority, Honorable Ebitimi Ambare, in his remark, reiterated his commitments in collaborating with the Commission to eradicate corruption in the organization. And from Benue State, the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Wala Mustafa Abubakar, represented by Mrs. Mary Atabo of Public Enlightenment and Education Department, has called on the need for motor vehicle drivers to stay clear of corrupt practices in the discharge of their day-to-day duties at the recently organized sensitization campaign for motor vehicles drivers at the Benue Links Motor Park organized by ICPC and NYC CDS Group. He added that corruption is very complex and the fight cannot be left for the anti-graft agencies alone, thus the need for citizens to come together and fight the menace.
That's all we have on this week's edition of Transparency Files. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. You can also watch past editions of the program on our official YouTube channel at ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. See you again next week. My name is Burna Barnabas Atiayi. Bye for now.